Blythe, Northumberland, home to the last private offshore lifeboat in the country. It's called out by the Coast Guard for rescues in the North Sea. The boat is owned by local millionaire Barry Elliott, a man not short on self-belief.
The only thing I'm not certain of is when I'm going to die. It's the only thing I'm not certain of. I'm certain of everything else. This boat wouldn't be in Blythe if it wasn't for Barry Elliott.
Barry might own the boat, but he leaves the rescuing to a dedicated crew of unpaid volunteers.
Your heart's pumping, your adrenaline's gunning.
And like coiled springs waiting to get out there.
But now Barry thinks the crew aren't up to scratch.
Down that side! I see the ropes from the fucking prop.
He wants radical changes.
You might lose individuals that you want here because they don't pass the test. That's the only way that we can cut the shit in this organisation.
The man's a nub.
He's a right dick, that's what he is.
Zero tolerance, no compromise, none.
He wants full control of everything, you know?
Barry wants to run the boat like his own business. And it's his way or no way at all.
How can you sack a volunteer, Barry? I've done a lot more for this while you're here. Fair enough, you've got a bit of time, but how?
Stop conduct yourself or you're going to be asked to leave.
We will not destroy this boat.
I don't want to sack anybody, they'll sack themselves.
That's it, done, finished. For me.
For some of the unemployed volunteers on the 15-strong crew of Blythe's all-weather lifeboat, keeping the boat afloat is the nearest they'll come to a full-time job.
I love this little boat, you know? I mean, it sounds a bit soft, like, but it's my whole life, really, you know? It means a lot to me, you know? I think when you've got something like that, you've got to keep a hold of it as long as you can, you know?
Deputy skipper staff is not everyone's idea of a lifeboatman.
I think they thought I was a bit of a thug at one time, like the appearance of the tattoos and the shaved head and things like that, but they gave us a chance.
Can you imagine meeting that fella for the first time? Eh? And when he turned up, I couldn't believe it. I says, oh my God. But what a gentleman, man.
Well, I've got tattoos on my arms, my legs, inside my lips, my head, my ears, my neck, my back, my arse. I don't know, I just like tattoos.
Already bent down.
As a portrait. It goes back to that saying, isn't it? You never judge a book by its cover.
There's an alert from the Coast Guard. A pleasure boat is caught in fishing nets and is adrift without power. It's one of 20 or so shouts each year for Blythe rescue.
Right, clear! Right, you're clear of this! Oh, who the fuck's done it now? What is this? This is fucking... I'm getting sick of this, like.
Right, watch the back of his board, Billy.
Yeah, mate!
All right, Adrian.
Yeah!
I just love the sea, you know. It's a good feeling when you're going out and you rescue somebody and you fetch them back in. I'd be lost. I'd be devastated if that would happen to the boat, like.
Right, stop, down ahead! Moving! They're going too fast!
Gone ahead, you're going too fast.
I get the lifeboat 100%, you know. I just enjoy doing what I do. It makes us feel better, you know what I mean? Knowing that I can do something, sort of.
It's exciting, it's challenging. I've loved every minute of it. I'll continue to do it until I drop.
You've got to take it serious, you know. It's people's lives you're playing with. You have a good laugh, but then you've got to have your serious side as well.
Nice one, Billy.
Nice one, Kerry.
I never ever thought I would enjoy your job where I didn't get paid for it, you know. But I think I wouldn't change it for the world, you know.
Mission accomplished. And there's praise from the Coast Guard too.
Very professional service as usual.
As long as everybody's happy.
While the crew ride the high seas, lifeboat owner Barry Elliott sticks firmly to dry land. Born and bred in Blythe, Barry's drive has propelled him from builder to millionaire property developer. His philosophy for success is simple.
I googled sperm one day. How many sperm in an ejaculation? And it came out at 40 to 65 million sperm are ejaculating in one ejaculation. And I researched it, and one of them sperm gets into the egg and creates this bracket, that bracket, every bracket. And that is the starting point. Everybody's fast in life. We are gifted to be here, 65 million people happy to get here, and I'm going to have a pretty good time. But you'll find most people laugh at that, you see, but it doesn't bother me.
Barry stepped in and put up £95,000 to buy an offshore lifeboat for Blythe after the RNLI cut back its big boat 6 years ago. Blythe's independent boat performs rescues out at sea, while 100 yards away, the RNLI now runs a small inflatable for rescues close to shore. One crew was part of a multi-million-pound nationwide organisation. The other isn't.
Yeah, where's Westlake?
I thought somebody's whistling at us here.
The RNLI has a sophisticated pager system for emergencies. Our volunteers have to make do with a text from the Coast Guard and any ringtone that will grab their attention.
Alright, that'll wake us up. That'll wake us up.
To crew the RNLI boat, you need to be fit, strong and under 45. They are part of a wealthy charity with its own training school and specialist engineers. Blythe Rescue's crew are knocking on a bit and organise their own training and mechanics. Barry's become concerned that the latest batch of recruits are not up to the job.
We've got to be looking to emulate or whatever, emulate the standard that the RNLI provide, because they're the world leader in saving lives at sea. People don't like change in organisations when you're used to something, you know. People don't like change. They don't like discipline, but you've got to have it down there, you know.
Barry's determined to put watertight procedures and more training in place at the station.
That's it.
Oh, we hit that one.
He wants a slicker, more professional outfit, not a social club. Behind every successful man, there's a feisty woman. Barry and his wife Tracy run their building empire together.
Obviously I'm biased because I've been, married to Barry for 25 years, but I mean, the way he approaches things is correct, but unfortunately a lot of people don't like him because of that.
You've got to do it right, 100%.
He's got the back of a good woman behind him, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Very rarely wrong. Very rarely. The only thing I'm not certain about is when I'm going to die. It's the only thing I'm not certain of. I'm certain of everything else.
Barry's called a meeting of the whole organisation. He bought the boat, now he wants the volunteers to do things his way.
We're a 999 emergency service. I'm taking responsibility for it. I need to be seeing it done my way. I'll be the last man standing.
Barry is convinced the lifeboat now needs a firm hand on the tiller, and there's only one man for the job. Himself.
He enjoys it, he loves it. He loves going down there and sorting everything out and coming back and having a bottle of beer and a chicken kebab tonight, and a lot of people forgotten about.
What I'm going to say here tonight is, right, we'll drive this organisation through, and I'm going nowhere. You're either with us or you've got a gun. I'm in control, right? I've got to have control, that's the way I work in my business.
Barry has made himself temporary operations manager with total control of the boat and crew. He's got no hands-on experience, but he's not letting that worry him.
Can you tell me what an operations manager does?
He needs to know how to manage the organisation.
He needs to know where the boat is at all times.
Have you got a CV?
CV?
Aye. When you left school,
When I left school,
you'll have learned certain skills up the age you're now.
I know what I've done.
Hold on.
I know what I can do.
Yeah, well, I'm not interested in that. What I'm saying
I've got my qualifications for what I want to do.
What I'm saying is, and I've got mine. And I've got mine.
Barry's entering choppy waters, and Staff just keeps on rocking the boat.
Can you do your Latin lungs?
What's a Latin run? I didn't need it.
You do.
I haven't got a clue.
You do. Tell you what, Barry. Tell you what, yeah. No, see that there, mate?
I'll tell you what, you sit
down. No. Listen, you telling me that you want to be an operations man down. No. Give me that position there. That is going to be the easiest thing in the world to do.
Sit down, calm down.
Give me that position, Barry.
I'm not missing that. I don't need to know about that.
You're starting to try and drive the place like you drive your work. We don't work for you, Barry. You're getting people's backs up because you're treating them like skivvies.
Tell your opinion.
Yeah.
Disagree with most of it. You know, but I hear it, disagree with most of it.
Then Barry accuses the crew of taking an undermanned lifeboat out on a joyride.
Anyway,
I don't know how to start them.
I think that may be the stranded fellow off the Ark, look.
The stranded fella off the Ark, look. That was when we had a full crew, mechanic and coxswain on the boat. Get your fucking story right, will you?
Stop,
you fucking blame me, you doing that means.
Stop, conduct yourself.
No, you conduct yourself and do things properly, Barry.
I'm going to tell you now, right? With different swear, different shooting, different point, right? Because if you do, you're going to be asked to leave.
Tell me nothing.
You get here or you're out this organisation.
Who the fuck do you think you're saying? Listen, I'm gone for town and I'll be back in a second.
What I'm going to say to you is, with that attitude, right?
With your attitude.
Listen.
Hold on, come on.
You're swearing.
How can you sack a volunteer, Barry?
I'm not sacking you.
I've done a lot more for this one you have. Fair enough, you've got a bit of time, but how?
What I'm saying to you is, right, what I'm saying is, I'm telling you, I'm not interested in your tattoos, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting you.
I've got a list of stuff here, one second.
Tatted me like that, man. Even threatening to throw us off crew. If I went outside for a smoke, I went out there to calm down. He would have seen another side of us if I hadn't went down and calmed myself out outside. I thought I handled it pretty well, to tell you the truth.
There had to be only one winner there, had to be, because what's been going on in the past had to stop, you know, and it will stop, because I'll now put systems in place which will highlight the person that wants to be antagonistic now. I'll put systems in place that will highlight everything, smoking in the wrong place, everything. I'll not push anybody, I don't want to sack anybody, they'll sack themselves. That's the way it'll be, you know what I mean? Great, man, Ned. Do you want a cup of tea? Or are you away?
It's the day after the row with Barry and the crew are still smarting. Kerry's wife Denise, the lifeboat's head fundraiser, is not one to mince her words.
He's a right dick, that's what he is.
How can you respect somebody that's trying to tell you to do something that hasn't got a clue? You cannot.
I mean, you can see on the boat itself, the comradeship on there, the closeness on the boat. As soon as we come ashore and meet with Barry Elliott, that's when everything goes haywire. We kind of keep on doing this.
It damages the morale and everything, you know. You got him coming along and sort of just knocking it out of bits, you know, knocking the confidence at you and things like that.
This is really my pleasure. It's something I'm proud to do. And without it, I think both our lives now would be dull. Oh. It's a marvellous thing to be in.
It's like a family.
Aye.
But he's trying to push this family apart.
If he just sits back and lets we get on with it, everything will be fine. You know what I mean? Everything. If he just sits back, but he's power struck.
He's a little mini Hitler. That's what he thinks he is.
The lifeboat's proving a fly in the ointment in Barry's otherwise perfect life. He and his wife Tracy have pulled themselves up by their bootstraps from humble beginnings.
I was brought up on a council estate, same with Barry, and like everybody else, we're just normal people who have made a success of our life through hard work. We weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth.
Barry's built a multi-million-pound property empire in Blythe. Now he's building the biggest house in town, his own. Sandwiched between the beach and a caravan storage park, It's got its own bar, home cinema and games room. And a kitchen that's not quite right.
I did say to Barry, actually, when we're busy, can we take all the floor tiles up and all the wall tiles as well in here? We're going to be hanging a telly on up here, so I've said, well, if we're blocking this off, we're going to have new tiles anyway, so we might as well just rip them all up. Well, put out your full-length mirrors so you can look at yourself when you go out to see your girlfriend.
Tracy and Barry's son Dean is growing up with all the advantages they never had. Barry's even built Dean a split-level bedroom and his own wet room.
There's a loft up here. It's getting done out, so I'm getting like kind of a 2-story bedroom. And that's going to be like where we'll all hang out and that, and like it's going to be like a game room.
I could live in here. This is like bigger than a New York apartment. People's even been saying that people think this is a shop.
Oh, my dad, he's a really kind man, but no offence to him, but he can get a bit radgy. And radgy means like a bit tempered. But like sometimes it's my fault as well, because like I'm naughty sometimes.
Barry puts his own family stamp on everything, even the lifeboat.
It's named after me and my sister.
Abby, Dean, Spirit of Blythe.
Abby is my sister, and I'm Dean, so like Abby, Dean, Spirit of Blythe.
The Abby Dean's Spirit of Blythe is this boat's name and will always remain its name. But pride, you know, but fatherly pride. You know, I've named 2 housing estates after the kids. I'm not into maritime, no. The closest I get to a boat was a blooming Lilo in the Mediterranean, you know, when I was on my holidays, you know. Been out fishing twice in my life.
Barry and the crew are drifting further apart.
I said to Barry, I says, you know, to be fair, it's like a family, the lifeboat. But it is a shame where it is kind of a barrier around them, you know. And it's like them and Barry, you know, and it should be everybody together, really.
The lifeboat family bond is forged at twice-weekly training sessions.
And like coiled springs waiting to get out there.
Where's the time?
They go out come hell or high water.
Yuppie-doo! How about my boy Slim? When the pit closed down, that was everything finished. That finished Blythe, like, when the pit closed down, like. But it's a shame, like, because this used to be a very, very busy harbour.
Very busy harbour, right?
When I was a band here, man, there were ships in and out, in. As soon as that ship was loaded up here and left and turned around and went out to sea, there was another ship that took its place straight away. Very, very sad.
It's man overboard drill, and Billy's thrown himself into the role.
1, 2, and on the 3rd, up. And when you do the 3rd one, I'll pull.
You're gonna get your arms wet. Hey, 1, 2, 3. And again.
1, 2, 3, lift. He's a big lad now, you know.
He's only half the size of you.
Right.
I'll make me. I just love being in the water. I must have been a fish, that's something at me past life.
If we get a casualty in the water out at sea, we can use this technique for getting them quickly into the boat.
You ever had to do it?
Not in real life, no. No, not at the moment.
What the fuck? Just try to get this welly, I can't get the welly off.
They got me not ready.
What's big and blue?
What the fuck? What the hell?
With ever fewer ships in these seas, it's not just jobs that are scarce, rescues are down too. When Billy's not on the boat, he's on a lawnmower. Jobless for 10 years, he's on yet another retraining scheme.
I want to work. I mean, last year I put about 160 CVs out, and out of them CVs I put out, I had 4 replies. It doesn't cost nothing to be nice. You know, this is totally blanket, which I think it's wrong. It's just wrong, you know.
A former trawlerman, Billy's the king of knots.
With bowling, you can pull anything. You can pull a 10-ton wagon. You can pull 50, 60,000 ton ship with that knot. And that knot will always come out. It'll always just break its back like that. And that knot will come out all the time. And that's it.
Billy's always keen to share his rope skills with new recruits.
Like 1, 2, 3.
Those get stuck at the stage. No. Another one.
Adrian's a recent arrival on the crew.
Yeah. It's gone again, isn't it? You made him swallow when you fasten your shoes.
That's one of Phil Bain's knots.
It ties me in knots, like. It ties me in knots.
Adrian's drifted from place to place looking for work and has washed up in Blyth.
I used to work for London Taxis in Coventry. I had to downsize, so I got made redundant. And nothing's for life anymore, but I was devastated, to be honest. And I thought, right, time to make a move, and I moved up to the north and try and get to Nissen in Sunderland. I've met a lot of people through the lifeboat. Cracking experience, good guys.
You're forgiven, you're forgiven.
First person I met was Billy.
Profile picture, lad.
He says, any sort of experience on boats? I says, a rowing boat in Stratford-on-Avon is about all I've done, mate. You took me on.
Whoa, yeah, come
No, I didn't get any qualifications at school. I didn't even do my mock exams, you know. I couldn't see the point. I didn't want to stop at school. And I knew as long as I had my hands, like, you know, I would make money. Used to go and drink at all these pubs. All these pubs used to be chock out every weekend, Friday, Saturday. I did know. There's no for kids these days. For kids to get a job, I mean, even the saying you got to be a brain surgeon to get a job these days is gone out the window, because even brain surgeons can't even get a job. You know? Jess, Bonnie, hey, get in.
Staff is an unemployed painter and decorator who's trained up as a skipper. The lifeboat is his reason for getting up in the morning.
You know, I've got to be doing something. I've got to be doing something. John! I mean, there's times where I've been in the house and I thought, I've got to do something. So I've getting in the car, driven around the block, pulled up and then come back in, because I've actually been and done something. Hang on, so watch the top, mate. Hey.
When he's not on the lifeboat, Staff's got another crew to look after. His 5 kids, while wife Carol goes out to work as a cleaner.
He'll say that he does all the cooking, but he doesn't. So that's just like his little, I do all the cooking, I do the cleaning. No, I do the cleaning before I go to work, and I do the cleaning when I come back on the night time.
Yeah, that's what she keeps telling me, but she tells fibs. I don't believe everything she says.
He may not cut the mustard as a house husband, but Carol's pleased Staff's taken on her ready-made family.
Graham and Rebecca off to my first marriage, and then you've got David and John to my second marriage, and then you've got Joe to Staff.
Only the youngest is Staff's own.
There was no DNA test needed there. You just need to look at Joe and then look at Staff, and then you can see.
See what I've got to put up with? Hey. Man's walk was never done. The lifeboat. It's like a second family. You know what I mean? It's changed my life, you know. Totally. You know, and that's being honest, you know. I'd be lost if I wasn't there, you know. I'll probably go and sit down at the quay each day, watch it go nude or something, you know. Sad, and
as soon as he goes out for a shout, I get a little bit worried in case, like, any bad stuff happens. He's brave.
Dad's a coward.
He's not a coward. He's brave.
What a beautiful noise coming up from the street.
But even heroes have downtime. While the crew wait for the next call out, their leaders have been summoned away to see Barry. He's keen to get skippers Kerry and Gordon on his side. It's a case of divide and rule.
Bloody nah, you are all right, and then you're all right, Gordon. Staff, I don't know about them. I'm one of these that have always give people an opportunity. I don't know how many chances I've given him personally for his conduct, but I don't know if that's a global conduct down there. I don't know what he's like when he's training people or when he's on the boat. At the end of the day, I've never judged a book by its cover, never. It's always on what's best for this organisation, you know.
Barry wants a serious dose of form filling for the crew, from CRB checks to medicals. Like every ruler, he's drafted a constitution. And if the crew don't like it, they'll be out.
And if they don't sign it, we've got to make a decision. Do you want them on the boat? You know what I mean? You cannot take no prisoners. But it's got to happen. It's got to happen, and there's only us can do it. Right, well done, Gordon. Cheers. Cheers. Watch your head on the scaffold on the way out. Don't trip on me stones.
The divide between Barry and the crew is widening. And now he's communicating his latest demands by text.
There's nine messages he sent. The man's a nub. You know, he is.
I will be seeking every individual's personal details to be held on a central record.